Peace. Touching this one. And I just want to do this video on Major Ridge. One of my brothers in the comment section, NY Supreme. Shout out, man. Thanks, man, for the idea. And thanks for the knowledge what he gave me about Major Ridge. My bad. So I actually read about him in the other article about the Cherokees, and it showed how he sold them out. Now, I'm just gonna read a little bit about him or whatever, because like I said, I didn't really know too much about him. I've heard about him before, but I haven't really done, like I said, a lot of this research, man. I'm definitely learning about a lot of different people, a lot of different traders, man, that was throughout the nation, you know what I'm saying, that was in a lot of these tribes or whatever. A lot of people, like I said, man, you know, when we talk about traders, most of these traders was the people in the tribes, man. Alright, so let's do this, man. Let's read a little bit. So say Major Ridge, 1771, 1839. Alright, that's this motherfucker right here. You see the nigga, he don't look melanated, he look like a fucking other European. Okay? The Cherokee leader Major Ridge is primarily known for signing the Treaty of New Inkatha, it's say 1835, which led to the Trail of Tears. Before this tragic period in Cherokee history, however, he was supposedly, according to what they say, however, he was supposedly be one of the most prominent leaders in Cherokee Nation. Major Ridge was born in the early 1770s in Tennessee. His Cherokee name was It's a means man who walked on the mountaintop. It's an Englishman called him the Ridge. It's a he was brought up as a traditional hunter and warrior, resisting white encroachment on Cherokee lands. He married a fellow Cherokee, Susanna Wicked, in the early 1790s, and moved to Pine Log in the present-day Bartow County. So as a result of the U.S. President George Washington's civilization policy. So they made a civilization policy. I mean, I read that in the last thing, but this shit is funny as hell. So they made a civilization process to where they made these people get civilized. So they made a policy that demanded these people be civilized. God almighty. So alright, so it's a George Washington civilization policy for Native Americans. The government agent Benjamin Hawkins provided the Ridge with new farm implements, and Susanna with a spinning wheel of loom, so the young couple could learn white ways of work. And traditional Cherokee women farmed and the men hunted. They say, now, if they want to learn white ways, this motherfucker look white himself. He don't look like no damn Indian. He look white himself. So, what do you mean white ways? Okay? So it's a traditional Cherokee women farmed and the men hunted. It's a fish and conducted politics and fought wars. With his military experience and brilliant command of the Cherokee Nation, the Ridge soon became a successful politician, purchasing African slaves to work as field labor, enabled Ridge family to enlarge in their agricultural production to the plantation status. Alright, so you see that right there. You say purchasing African slaves. Now, like I said, we really don't know where these slaves came from. We don't know was they the captures of the tribe, like as the sister warrior actually just mentioned. So we don't even know, like, the ones that stayed behind, was they captured and put to slavery. We don't even know. We don't really even know what happened. But I'm gonna keep on going. They say when the War of 1812 began, the Ridge, alright, they say the Ridge, that's him, joined General Andrew Jackson. They say force in fighting the Creek and the British the Creek and the British in Alabama. Alright, now, like I told y'all, man, don't fall for them. They added the British. They was fighting against their tribes, man. You understand what I'm saying? They was fighting against the tribes, man. And the British, when I read the Revolutionary War story, I kept, for some reason, I kept running across, they were warring with Indians or so-called Native Americans at the same time when they was fighting the British. Now, it's way more, it was way more tribes over here at that time than it was Europeans. So how was they fighting the British? They was getting killed by them, plus they was getting killed by the Indians, and they was able to hold both of them off. It doesn't make no sense when you think about it. If you think about it, I believe that a lot of the slaves was captured people from the tribe that they went in. They captured people. All right, so it's a force in fighting the Creeks and the British in Alabama. It's a for his heroic leadership at the Battle of Horseshoe Bend. They say the Ridge received the title of Major, which he subsequently used as his first name. After the war, Ridge family established a plantation on Astanala River in present-day Rome with his friend and neighbor John Ross. Say Ridge helped to establish the Cherokee Nation with 3 branches of government. In 1827, he served as a counselor, and Ross became the principal chief, the equivalent of the president, believing that they had succeeded in the civilization process by establishing the government on the U.S. model. Cherokee, like Ridge, was shot when the U.S. Congress passed the Indian Removal Bill of 1830. And Georgia implemented a lottery to dispense the Cherokee land. Shortly thereafter, I read this before. It say as Georgians begin to move illegally into Cherokee houses, businesses, and plantations. So there was already plantations. So was there already plantations in Carolina? Because they already had slaves, or they already was bringing either white slaves in at that point in time. They say often by force. So saying that after they passed the Indian Removal Act, they was coming in by force. All right. They say Ridge became convinced that either warfare or negotiation with the United States government must proceed. He became the leader of the treaty parties, which favored removal to Indian territory west of Mississippi River in present-day Oklahoma, in exchange for financial compensation of $5 million to the Cherokee. He and the majority of Cherokee signed the treaty. The minority, and a minority of Cherokee signed the Treaty of New Ecota. It say in December 1835, say without authorization from Ross. I've read that before. It say Cherokee government. It say the illegal treaty was signed by President Jackson and passed by 1 vote in the U.S. Senate. See, that was his boy. That's the reason why he passed it or whatever. See, and when they be telling these stories about these fake chiefs that be looking European, it just wonders me. So they're not telling his family story about where he came from or what was his mother, because his motherfucker's white. So I don't I just don't get it. Like I said in my last 2 videos, how Europeans are accepted into these tribes, but yet the Aborigines, and it's obvious that this man easily came from somebody who wanted a European colonist maybe, or slave that wanted to be part of this tribe, and he benefited from it. So my thing is this: how can out of all the people in these tribes, they keep picking these Europeans? I got to do some more research because I'm confused with that. All right. So it says, but Principal Chief Ross and the opponents of the treaty fought its implementation. They fell. The Cherokee removal was forced by military because of the harsh weather conditions. More than 4,000 Cherokees died. They say the 1838 through 39 winter of on the trail when they cried, commonly known as the Trail of Tears, on June 22nd, 1839, in retaliation for Ridge's part in this tragedy. Some of Ross' supporters ambushed and killed Ridge on his way into town from his plantation on Honey Creek in Indian territory. His assailants was never officially identified or prosecuted. Okay, so that's how they dealt with him. So I definitely wanted to just fill that up. Just definitely wanted to just put that out there. What happened to this motherfucker for him signing a legal treaty? How do you sign a legal treaty and he took the money and built up a plantation and had slaves or whatever? You know what I'm saying? And you see where he said they fought against the Creek. And you see that this is what I'm telling you. When you get into this history, you find that there was so-called Aborigines or so-called culture vulture Aborigines that was fighting and killing off other tribes, like I told y'all. And when you understand why and what it's all about. These motherfuckers was selling out. So shout out to the brother New York Supreme, gave me the idea doing this video, man. And also, man, if anybody can find any information, one of the brothers in my subscription, damn, you know what? He don't normally comment, but let me see something so I can find it. This brother right here, Yah Most High. He said, I believe that the Cherokee built Black Wall Street. Now, that's something that I'm going to definitely do some. I'm going to definitely look into and definitely do some research on, man. But definitely, man, you know, I just wanted to finish this. I'm going to do some more research on the Cherokees. I'm going to get a little bit more in depth. I'm going to, you know, I'll put up some of the archives, but for me, I don't do the archive work. You know, I leave that to other people. I just bring it straight directly to you. If at this point in time, if you don't believe that the original Aborigines, if you can't follow the story and at least fill in the blanks and just use your brain, okay? Like my template and my source is that power hot and that Indian statue, man. Why would they make a statue of an indigenous person that looked like that if we show these visions of these Indians? I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep implementing that until somebody can say either that's an African or that's not a real statue. Which I know it's a real statue because they wouldn't have made it and put it right there in front of us for us to decide. Because if we ask, well, who is this right here? Where did he come from? Oh, this was an indigenous person. So was he a slave? Or was he descendants of Africans? No, he was indigenous. Okay, so if he was indigenous Indians, what happened to the Indians that look like him? And why are you telling me that these are Indians? And this is the simplest way that I understand it myself. You know what I'm saying? As well as other literature. You know that they hear history. We know a lot of these Europeans mixed in with us. That's the reason why they gave. I'm still kind of confused on some of this because like I even mentioned, right? And like I said, that if there's other black people in these tribes, why are these black people in these other tribes not going, you know what I'm saying, not going out their way to at least tell the rest of the black people? Because we're not stupid. If you see other black people in tribes, all you got to do is ask yourself a simple question. If there's other black people in tribes, okay, how did they get there? They're going to tell you that they were descendant of slaves. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to end the video here. But definitely, man, we'll definitely bring you some more work, man. Like I said, when I get some time, man, it'd be a lot of research sometimes. If I'm not reading off of a screen, if you got to put in different pieces and try to sit here and figure, I mean, it takes a lot of time, man, to do that, man. You know, so definitely, man, I just try to get out what I can. Hopefully that this will help some of y'all get, you know what I'm saying, get closer to where y'all trying to get. At least know where you came from, know thyself, man, which is the most important thing. So with that being said, I'm the Conscious one. I'm out. Peace.